name is Cameron Spicer. I chose to do my presentation on online fraud scams. Be going into what online fraud scams actually are. Um, Online fraud scams are a form of cyber theft, which involves stealing personal information, medical information, financial information, or money via the internet and digital devices for personal or other use. Most online fraud scams follow the same general pattern. The target of the scam typically believes that he or she is providing information or money to a stranger in need, such as a military member, a friend, or a person from an official agency or organization, such as a bank. The goal of the perpetrator is typically to get the victim to provide the perpetrator with something such as data or money. Here on the right hand side, you can see a general example of a fraud email. They typically cover themselves with a blanket of trust in a way that they usually pose as some business that is generally trusted and aim to get the user or the victim to give them information through that trust. These are just a few examples of some of the most common online fraud scams. The advanced fee scam is a scam where the perpetrator informs the victim that an advanced fee is required to deposit a large sum of money into a bank account. The perpetrator may pretend to be royalty, a government official, or legal official. An example given by Maras in the reading involves an attorney of a victim's long lost relative, quote unquote, contacting a victim to let them know their relative has died overseas or far away, something that they can't prove. The perpetrator then informs the victim that an advanced fee is needed to deposit the money as well as a bank account number. So the aim there is just to, number one, take money and get bank information if possible. Phishing scams. This scam usually involves someone pretending to be a legitimate entity or business in order to trick users into revealing some type of information, such as personal or financial information. Operation Cardkeeper, for example, was a phishing scam in which the perpetrator pretended to be a financial organization, intending to steal victims' personal and financial information for later sale on an online marketplace. This could be somewhere in the dark web, something hidden or encrypted. Who's most likely to be targeted? Although data for the demographic of online fraud scams can vary when it comes to their level of education, gender, and race, it has been found that age plays a major factor. Some data shows that elderly may be at a greater risk of victimization, but it is most commonly found that middle-aged individuals are most targeted. Individuals with low self-control and a risk-taking mindset, otherwise known as impulsivity, have shown higher susceptibility to online fraud scams. The data tends to vary because of the high amount of different online fraud scams. As such, the demographic tends to vary based on the material, techniques, and type of scam at hand. The persuasive techniques used by perpetrators. Typically, you'll see a trust or authority figure played. Essentially, this is what's used in the previously referenced phishing and advanced fee scams. The perpetrator pretends to be a government official or a trusted business, such as Walmart, that blanket of trust I was talking about. The victim tends to trust those bigger corporations because they are well known, but they don't know that it's not actually the corporation. Scarcity is a huge one. The perpetrator will usually warn the potential victim that only a limited amount of the quote-unquote prize is still available, or there's little time left to collect. This influences the potential victim to irrationally fall victim to the scam as they don't want to miss out. So referencing back to the impulsivity. Overstating benefits and understating costs appeal to negative emotions such as guilt or greed, as well as appeal to positive emotions such as friendship. The laws in the legislature side, there's no specific federal laws that criminalize scams such as phishing. However, the Controlling the Assault of Non-Solicited Pornography and Marketing Act of 2003, otherwise known as the CAN-SPAM Act of 2003, is a federal law used to criminalize spam or unsolicited emails. It has been used to prosecute phishers depending on the type of phishing activity. Wire and bank fraud statutes have commonly been used for prosecuting phishers, though the majority of the U.S. states do have some form of spam laws that may be used to prosecute scammers. Depending on the type of online fraud scam, different laws may exist, such as online auction fraud, which is criminalized under the 18 USC Section 1343. It really does just vary on the type of fraud. There's different components to each actual scam. Some states do, such as Alabama and Texas, do have some form of specific phishing law. The underreporting of online fraud scams, as with most cybercrimes, many victims do not believe law enforcement has the necessary knowledge or resources to investigate or prosecute the perpetrator, leading many to not report it at all. The lack of knowledge within the general public is also a component of the underreporting of this crime, as most of the general public do not know where to actually report the crime, or even the fact that the crime has been committed. Jurisdictional issues with a lot of cybercrime as well, considering cybercrime can transcend traditional boundaries, along with the reliance of the internet and digital devices by the majority of the population. A lot of the online scams can be perpetrated from almost anywhere. So it makes actually prosecuting a criminal very, very tough, expensive, and time consuming, because they could be in a totally different country in a totally different jurisdiction. Prevention. The prevention of this form of cybercrime is generally simplistic and realistically just relies on the knowledge of the potential victim. Staying informed on the types of scams is great. You want to know how to watch out for those scams and what aspects to look for, how to see if a site is generally reliable. Never giving out passwords or information outside of a trusted login software. Most companies have, thinking on a game like my little brother plays Fortnite, it always has this screen that says their company will never ask you for your password, and that's their way of telling you, like, if you're getting asked for your password, it's a scam. Your password is to be typed in by you. Most companies have a way to get into your account and see your information in a professional way without your password. Your password is to be known by you and no one else. A good antivirus software can always go a long way in the prevention of viruses and stuff like that a scammer may find a way to implement on your device. And knowing how and where to report is super important. You want to make sure that you know where to report it so that something can be done about it at some point. This was my presentation on